Nico is in Germany to learn German.
Hallo, ich bin Nico.
Why not learn with him online on your mobile and free?
Du schaffst das.
DW's e-learning course, Nico's Weg.
This is DW News, live from Berlin. Top U.S. officials are expected in Kyiv to meet with Ukraine's president. The visit comes as Ukrainians celebrate Orthodox Easter amid a war that's ground on for 2 months. Also coming up, France chooses a president. Incumbent Emmanuel Macron and his far-right challenger Marine Le Pen cast their votes as they go head-to-head for France's top political job. And they've done it again. Bayern Munich are German champions once more. You're watching DW News. Here's a reminder of our top story at this hour. Opinion polls suggest French President Emmanuel Macron is on course for a second 5-year term. But his far-right opponent Marine Le Pen has mounted a strong challenge in Sunday's election runoff. Reporter is up next looking at Afghan refugees trying to make his mark on the Berlin fashion scene. I'm Michael Oku from me and the entire news team here. Thanks for watching.
These places in Europe are smashing all the records. Step into a bold adventure. It's the treasure map for modern globetrotters. Discover some of Europe's record-breaking sites on Euromax, YouTube, and now also in book form.
Imagine how many portions of lunch are thrown out in the world right now.
Climate change is only half the story.
This is my plastic waste from just 1 week.
How much worse can it really get? We still have time to act.
I'm going all in.
This
Success! Hit subscribe for more videos like this.
Eco-Africa. Industrial fishing. A danger to the rich marine life in Watamu, Kenya. Thousands of dolphins have fallen victims to its nets. Researchers are gathering precious data to better understand these animals and to better protect them.
Eco-Africa. Next on DW.
Back to nature in the city. The Floriade Expo 2022 in the Netherlands shows how to do it. Greener living, an innovative world exhibition for the cities of the future.
Euromax. In 45 minutes on DW. What people have to say matters to us. That's why we listen to their stories. Reporter, every weekend on DW.
Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Eco Africa, the weekly environmental show brought to you by DW in Germany, Channels TV in Nigeria and NTV right here in Uganda. My name is Sandra Twinobdio and with me is my co-host Chris.
Hello from Lagos, I am Chris Elems. Wonderful to have you with us. And hopefully we're going to inspire you with climate heroes and innovative ideas to improve the environment and clean up nature. Coming up on the show.
What makes South Africa's Speak Boom an amazing plant? How to do housework without resorting to harmful chemicals. And better methods for sugarcane farming in Ghana. We do start the show with some truly wonderful creatures. If you've seen one gliding and jumping in the ocean, I'm sure you will agree there's nothing quite as beautiful as a dolphin. I have seen one and I can't give it to you, they are gorgeous. And they're not only lovely to look at, they also play an important role in the general ecosystem. Now, a group of scientists in Kenya are dedicated to protecting them.
Off to the monthly roll call here in the Kenyan region of Watamu. Led by marine biologist Michael Mangombe, the research team's focus is dolphins. They monitor how many of the animals live in this area and track their movements.
How do they use this area? It helps in terms of managing them, even knowing what is their area of coverage, how long do they stay here. So that kind of improves their understanding and even how people can better protect them.
The village of Watamu, located some 120 kilometers north of Mombasa, Kenya's second largest city. Watamu Marine Park and Reserve is known for its species diversity. Over 500 varieties of fish, as well as various sea turtle species, can be found in an area measuring just 10 square kilometers. Not to mention dolphins, the subject of Michael Mangombe's research. In the Indian Ocean, their numbers have fallen by more than 80% since 1950. Industrial fishing is largely to blame, as dolphins keep getting caught up in fishing nets. Michael Mangombe and his crew want to know what that means for the Watamu region. At the start of November 2021, the researchers counted 141 Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphins here. Now, a month later, they've found another pod. Michael Mangombe takes photos that will be analyzed later. Today, there is no sight of any humpback dolphins, considered an endangered species. In November, they'd spotted 8 of the rare marine mammals. This data is of use not only to scientists, but to people of Watamu as well.
People can use even in dolphin watching boats. So instead of just going on a tour and seeing dolphins, you can go out in a tour and someone tells you the numbers of animals that they're seeing, what are the names of these animals. So it gives it quite a bigger significance, and it makes whoever is coming to Watamu to watch dolphins have a good experience.
This is an example from Tanzania of what dolphin watching shouldn't be like. Way too many boats getting way too close to the animals and causing them stress. At Watamu Marine Park, such practices are now a rarity. Boat owners and tour guides have received special training. They know that in the long run, it's bad for the business to frighten the dolphins away.
Sustainable tourism actually means if people are not actually observing the right dolphin watching practices, then they can easily affect their normal behavior. That's meaning that in terms of even reproduction, that can be affected.
And some still catch dolphins intentionally, although it's illegal. Even fishermen hauling in small fish hurt dolphins by depleting their food source.
If you have people doing illegal fishing, that means there will be competition of the little feeds that is available in the ecosystem. So illegal fishing affects the feeding patterns of that particular animal.
Finally, the researchers have time to look at the photos taken on the boat trip that morning. By examining details like the shape of the fins, they can recognize what types of dolphins they've sighted.
Then when we are back, we try to analyze all those pictures to see how many individuals we've seen and how many haven't been back from the last time that they were seen, and even looking at the videos that can help us in counting the number of animals that were sighted on that day.
On this day, the researchers caught a glimpse of 50 Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphins. Overall, there's every indication that their population remains relatively stable.
Two children, two continents, one giant problem.
In my leven heb ik nog net gezien een beetje reën.
How will climate change affect us and our children? Learn more at dw.com/water.
Time now to leave the scenic coast of Kenya and head back to dry land. Here at Eco Africa, we are very interested in finding solutions to the problem. For example, soil erosion.
Exactly. That's why we traveled to Little Karoo in South Africa. It's a spectacular 350-kilometer long valley stretching from the west to the east of the country. Now, one project there is working with communities to cover large areas with a common succulent that has few needs and many environmental benefits.
This area in South Africa's Klein Karoo was long an important grazing source for wild and domestic animals. Due to overgrazing and erosion, the semi-arid landscape has become severely degraded. Yanni Kloete and his team of landscape restorers want to change that. They're planting spekboom here, a hardy shrub that's native to the region.
Spekboom is perfect for us and for the atmosphere. Spekboom removes carbon dioxide from the air and stores it in its leaves. It's a wonderful plant that can withstand long periods of drought.
Kloete and his team work for Jobs for Carbon, an initiative launched in the village of Van Beekstorp 7 years ago with the help of seed funding from private donors and government entities. Today, the initiative combines job creation with conservation in the region. Botanist Jan Vlok works with the project, which aims to plant spekboom on 20,000 hectares in the region. The indigenous shrub will help restore local biodiversity and the soil's ability to sustain other plants in the vicinity.
It's a plant with the ability to absorb relatively large amounts of carbon while needing a minimum of water.
From an early age, children in Van Beekstorp learn about the benefits of spekboom. Jobs for Carbon runs an environmental education program in 10 primary schools in the area. The young students learn about the unique system of the Klein Karoo, one of the most species-rich, semi-arid landscapes on the planet. Project manager Ina Schultz believes it's vital to invest in the future of local children.
Nature conservation is critical. It's the legacy we leave our children. They can take ownership of the project and help conserve and protect nature. If we can't take care of our environment, what kind of message are we giving to these children as they head out into the world?
Jobs for Carbon has already provided work for 60 people and replanted 510 hectares. Many private landowners have made a portion of their land available to the project, and a growing number of farmers are willing to sign a contract stating they'll refrain from grazing on replanted land for at least 20 years. Olive farmer Peter Kotsia has taken it a step further, removing cattle and small livestock from 150 hectares to accommodate more spekboom. The project helps provide local people with a secure livelihood, and over a longer term, his farm will benefit.
We fully realize that with rife unemployment in our midst, we're not going to have a happy society. And that's important to us. We We want to make sure that this little village becomes a role model to the rest of South Africa as to how commercial agriculture can interact with local communities to make it a better society for all.
For many people in Van Beeksdorp, poverty is still a daily reality. Jobs for Carbon is already making a difference. Jannie Klöte didn't finish school and was out of work for years. After joining Jobs for Carbon, he was able to pay the fees for his 2 daughters to attend high school and university. And he's happy that his work is benefiting the environment.
I can already see a big difference in the veld where we've already done some planting. 3 years later, there's already a big difference. The shrub grows and then other plants start growing nearby, and soon the veld looks beautiful again. In areas that were dry, it helps bring life back to the veld.
For Jannie Klöte, planting spekboom is a way to restore the natural environment while providing a better life for his family. And as the humble spekboom is restored to the area, the local community will continue to reap the benefits.
Have you ever stood in front of stacked supermarket shelves and thought to yourself, there are just too many products to choose from? Well, 2 German entrepreneurs have made things a bit easier. They founded a company that makes household cleaning products that don't contain any harmful chemicals. And that makes choosing a whole lot simpler. Here is this week's Doing Your Bit.
If we realized how many harmful chemicals are in our cleaning products, we would use a lot less of them. Or none at all. At least that's what Jeanette Schmidt decided. Towards the end of her design studies, she focused on sustainability in everyday life.
I realized that many conventional cleaners and detergents contain lots of harmful substances. Not good for me and not good for the environment. And all that packed in plastic.
She remembered how her grandmother cleaned. So, with her friend Henriette Grevling, she developed a business concept. With 6 simple substances, you can make 10 different household cleaners. Besides baking soda and vinegar essence, you need citric acid, curd soap, soda, and certain other essences. The boxes are assembled in the workshops of 2 German charity organizations in Leipzig. The startup sells everything online, either the individual products or the whole set.
Since we set out 4 years ago, our customer base has grown, now includes many retailers. We have many bring-your-own-packaging stores.
For the future, they plan on developing even more sustainable products. And above all, they want to make their company itself completely sustainable.
And how about you? If you're also doing your bit, tell us about it. Visit our website or send us a tweet. #DoingYourBit. We share your stories.
In past shows, we've often explored ways farmers can better protect and store their harvest and ensure they can withstand drought and heavy rain.
In Germany, we met 2 farmers who have custom-made solutions for their crops. They have come up with many ideas, including designing a greenhouse, but this one comes with a big difference.
These 2 men had a vision. They wanted to create a greenhouse without glass. Instead, they pictured photovoltaic panels supported by a steel framework. Last year, their vision took shape. And this summer, for the first time, they've been able to harvest blueberries and blackberries. Fabian Karthaus and his cousin Josef Knea are passionate farmers. But it's becoming increasingly difficult to feed a family on farming alone.
We have to keep improving. We run a regular agricultural operation. We keep pigs and till the fields. And in times like these, we thought about securing an alternative revenue stream, making the farm fit for the future, broadening our horizons.
Berries could potentially double their income. They fetch higher prices than the barley or corn that used to grow here. The two are conscious of the environmental impact. Cultivating fruit under plastic sheeting wasn't an option.
It's plastic. We don't want plastic. We want something that's permanently stable. That's what we have with the steel framework and the photovoltaic roof. The entire structure was designed to be green. We decided against giving it a concrete foundation simply because concrete has a terrible CO2 footprint.
Even the irrigation system is sustainable. It uses captured rainwater, which can be stored for later use. An app controls the entire arrangement.
We use drip irrigation. We deliver 2 liters an hour directly onto each plant. We decided against sprinklers because that also wets the spaces between the plants. This way, we can deliver only the necessary water to each plant. This method means we're also conserving natural resources.
This kind of approach is still pretty rare in Germany. But farming these days needs innovation as extremes of weather become more commonplace. The last 2 years have seen widespread drought. This year, deadly deluges of rain and hail. Plants are much better protected in greenhouses. The solar panels also feed power to the national grid, providing yet another revenue stream for the farm. Researchers at Germany's Fraunhofer Institute have calculated that if this kind of greenhouse were adopted throughout the farming industry, the effect on renewable electricity output would be massive. But Fabian Karthaus says this kind of project still faces huge hurdles in Germany. The 33-year-old designed his photovoltaic greenhouse at the kitchen table and had it built by professionals, but he didn't calculate in the local authorities.
I wouldn't take on something as innovative as this again, at least in construction. The restrictions we faced based on planning and construction law and the building authorities were really something. They caused us a lot of sleepless nights.
The planning and construction dragged on for months. The financial risk was huge. The finished unit cost 600,000 euros, but Fabian's wife backed him all the way.
I think it's really innovative. It's a groundbreaking project. I admire their courage, that they took the challenge head on and also put so much money into it.
Fabian Karthaus and Josef Knär now hope other farmers will follow their lead and also embrace the possibilities of greener growing.
Sugar is one of the key ingredients in many people's favorite treats. And I have to confess, I love it too. In fact, I have some right here. But too much of it is bad for your health.
Oh yes, Sandra, not only that, producing it also causes damage to the environment. One young woman from Accra in Ghana has moved to the countryside to help locals learn new and better methods of sugarcane farming. She is this week's Eco Hero.
Audrey S. Darko would never have guessed that one day her work clothes would look like this. She grew up in Ghana's capital, Accra, and studied business administration. Now she lives and works in the countryside.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? It's been an amazing journey, but one that has been a roller coaster as well. And our journey started about 4 years ago, where I came here as a researcher and also as a tourist, just in the hopes of finding more about what sugarcane is all about. What are the benefits of it for communities within Ghana?
Sugarcane is a major crop in the southeastern Volta region. And it's here that Audrey S. Darko has set up a small production facility for organic fertilizer.
That's okay.
The chief component is sugarcane waste, which accumulates in great quantities during harvesting. Farmers often don't know what to do with it. First, the waste is dried, then charred, and processed into fertilizer.
The name of our product here is Sabon Terra, and that means to make the earth new again. And here at Tosupo, our goal is to empower farmers to grow food organically and also improve their soil health using a more accessible and available organic soil blend or input during farming.
Workshops are held at the small model farm next door. 30 farmers belong to the network. Here they can learn about sustainable farming, not just growing organic vegetables, but also that healthy soil is good for the climate because it stores carbon.
Instead of burning sugarcane waste products on the farm, we decided to use it as organic blend, which helps improve the soil fertility. So with this aspect, I believe that as a farmer, I have a major role to play, which is fighting climate change. This is our main focus.
It's mainly farmers with just a few hectares of land who cultivate sugarcane in Ghana. They sell the product at local markets. It's often used to make sweetener and alcohol. 40 years ago, sugarcane production was still an important industry in Ghana. But all of the bigger factories have since closed down. One of the principal reasons was mismanagement. Audrey S. Darko wanted to find out more about it. She specialized in agricultural sciences and decided to go talk to farmers directly.
I realized that the culture was different. They had been used to conventional agriculture, making use of a lot of chemicals in how they planted, how they prepared their land.
Burning crop residue in the fields is also a common practice, despite people here feeling the effects of climate change at first hand. There's been a change in the amount of rainfall, and harvests are diminishing. The fires put a big strain on the already severely depleted soil.
Nature is supposed to work with us to better our lives, but seen as humans, degrading it on a daily by burning it, by destroying the biodiversity and engaging in bad practices, that put the fauna and the flora in extinction is just frustrating for me, because we should be appreciative of what nature gives us.
This community is located directly on the Avu Lagoon, an important wetland. The canals are used to transport the harvest, and growing sugarcane itself requires a lot of water. It's an area rich in biodiversity, but the use of chemicals in farming is damaging the environment, and there are fewer and fewer fish. Philip Tomatlo and his father are noticing that too. They own around 5 hectares of land and have a big family to support. All the more reason for them to rethink things.
My fear is that if we continue applying chemicals on our farmlands, our children will suffer, and they'll find it difficult to cultivate sugarcane in the future.
Audrey S. Darko occasionally takes a break from the countryside for a trip to Accra. In Ghana's cities, urban farming is a new trend, hastened by the pandemic. Audrey knows Paulina from her university days. The software developer is one of 150 or so city dwellers who have their organic fertilizer delivered to their door.
I plucked some seeds and prepared okra stew with that, and it was like amazing. I plucked about 15 or so of them and prepared stew with that, and I had that feeling that, okay, I am eating something I planted. Like, it was that good.
The countryside might be a world away from the city, but Audrey S. Darko enjoys her new rural life. She's the only member of her team to work full-time for the project, which she founded in 2018 together with other students from the University of Accra. They also developed the fertilizer in the university lab. She wants many more farmers to become aware of its benefits.
It would transform their mindsets about seeing waste as a resource and giving them more knowledge and more urgent zeal to pass this information to their children and their grandchildren.
Audrey S. Darko knows how to get her point across and has gained the respect of the farmers. Now she just needs to find financial backers in order for the Savon Sake project to flourish in its full potential.
That's it for today, but if you want to know more, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and of course check out our website. I am Sandra Twinovideo signing off from Kampala here in Uganda. For now, keep it green and take care.
And don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of Echo Africa. My name is Chris Lem, signing off from Lagos. See you next time. Bye.
Back to nature in the city. The Floriade Expo 2022 in the Netherlands shows how to do it. Greener living, an innovative world exhibition for the cities of the future.
Euromax. In 15 minutes on DW.
So you want to know what makes the Germans tick? News just in. The Germans love beer and banning things.
Step away from the sponge.
What? I'm not even allowed to wash my own car.
No.
And everyone wears lederhosen every single day. Just kidding. Are you ready to meet the Germans? Then join me, Rachel Stewart, on DW.
Российская агрессия, ситуация в Украине. Мы будем в прямом эфире.